all of those that have taken advantage of my gift of the shamanic reading by New Power Animals. So thank you. That's a gift for me. So, do you ever see couples that are fighting with each other, bickering, or maybe even worse, they're sitting at a restaurant and neither one is talking to each other? You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Or how about entrepreneurs that have inconsistent income and maybe roller coaster revenue, ups and downs? Those are the kinds of things that people come to me about. I'm an alternative therapist. And so what's alternative therapy? Well, alternative therapy is combining the traditional work that I've done with alternative means that are, with children and adolescents, I do things called my storytelling technique, which I use clay and drawing and drama and music and all kinds of things to help children heal their traumas. And with adults, I use regression therapy, which is going kind of deeper into the subconscious, because a lot of times we forget the traumas of our past. And we've all had traumas, right? We've been talking in the last few days about challenges. Well, sometimes those challenges have come because we had some kind of trauma. And my vision is a world free of abuse.
Amen.
Thank you. Abuse is a hidden epidemic in our country. In 2014, there were 702,000 victims of child abuse, children. And those are just the ones that get reported and taken care of. So I want you to imagine this. All those children would fit in 10 modern football stadiums in all the stands. That's the amount of children we're talking about. So children go through trauma, and then they grow up to be adults, and they carry that trauma with them, unless it's resolved. And trauma can come out in so many different ways. I call it kind of a scale or a spectrum. So like at one end of the spectrum, it could be things like growing up in a family where everybody's really critical of each other, or there's just a lot of negativity. And then on the other end of the spectrum can be things like abuse, sexual, physical, mental, neglect, rape, domestic violence, PTSD with our military, criminals with crime. In fact, the statistics say that 64% of the felons in our jails experienced childhood trauma before the age of 12. So what would a world look like that was free of abuse? Well, like in Eiji's speech earlier, we'd have less suicides. We would have less divorce. We would have fewer people in our jails. And people would be happier. So why am I drawn to this kind of work? Well, way in the beginning, before I became a therapist, I was a teacher. And I had a boy in my 6th grade classroom who had been very traumatized. He had witnessed his father shooting and killing his mother with a gun. and no one was doing anything about it. So I sat him down one day after school. I can still see it. And I said, Kevin, what can I do to help you? And he just shrugged. He was in so much pain, he didn't know. So I made a vow that I was going to learn some ways to work with children like Kevin and to heal them from this trauma. So my movement is about working with therapists and healers with my modalities to help children and families who are in this kind of traumatic experience. So I am also reaching out to you along with the gift that I would still love to find your power animal for any of those of you who are still interested. And my ask is, if you know of any therapists or healers, I would really like to hear from them to be part of the movement. Thank you.
All right, let's give her a whoop. Let's give her a whoop. Go up to center stage. Go up to center stage. And open up. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Whoosh. Thank you.